But yeah, my mom was telling me about this story. Supposedly, like the case is going on, and the case is going on, and they don't know. The guy's not telling them where the body is. Naziah
Little
Harris.
did she know that she was really saying goodbye. Naziah Harris has been missing since January 9th, when she was last seen getting off a school bus in the area of Cornwall and 3 Mile Drive. This case has been solved, well, kind of, meaning we know who did it, we know why this person did it, but why didn't anyone protect Naziah? And why is she still missing? Was the family in on this? Hello, strangers. Welcome back to the Strange Bar and Grill. Today we have another missing persons case. This is the story of Naziah Harris.
Let me show you how to block this ad. First, you're gonna click on this video, then you're gonna download Pod. It's an ad blocker that's
Nigga voice about to make me fall asleep.
Naziah was born to her mother and father, Mervyn Jennings, in the city of Detroit. She and her brother lived with her grandmother, Annette Harris, early on. But that living arrangement would come to an end, and Naziah would move in with her Aunt Shannon and her boyfriend. Not much is known about her parents, but it was reported that her mother was struggling with addiction, and her father wasn't able to care for her due to various medical reasons. Unfortunately, her father would pass away this year due to congestive heart failure, never finding out what happened to his daughter. Despite her unstable upbringing, Naziah still found joy with her relationships with her cousins. She was motivated to do well in life. She would attend J.E. Clark Preparatory Academy on Detroit's east side. Despite her struggles, everything appeared to be going well for Naziah. She would study hard and do well in school. She was rarely late, and she rarely missed a day of school. However, life at home was different. You see, her aunt's husband wasn't a typical man. He carried a long rap sheet of abuse from his past. He had multiple children with underage girls in the area. That man was Jarvis Butts, a known predator in the Detroit area. Despite the clear warning signs and the fact that Jarvis was recently released from prison for assaulting a child, nobody was able to convince Naziah's Aunt Shannon about the danger she was putting her family in. She was just too damn lonely. And just 4 months into the school year, something awful would happen.
People be ignoring them red flags, bro.
Crazy.
Gotta stop
And it
ignoring
be
them red flags.
and her that was her aunt, right?
Yeah,
Her aunt had to have known that.
yeah.
You see what the title says, desperate aunt sacrifices niece for love. So
Mm-hmm.
she just wanna be with this dude, he looked good or whatever the case is, and then you letting this man. That's crazy, bro.
Yep.
Shame on her.
That would send shockwaves through Detroit when Naziah would disappear just moments after getting off the bus, never to be seen or heard from again. Not from her family, not from her schoolmates, not from her friends, and not from social media where she was extremely active with her friends. Not from teachers, not from no one. On January 9th, Naziah had a typical day. She would wake up, get ready for school, and rush out the door to get to the bus stop. She would be picked up by the bus and ride that bus to school like any normal day. Throughout the school day, she would send text messages out from a tablet provided by DPS. When the school day ended, Naziah would leave the school and board the bus. Surveillance footage showed Naziah on the bus at around 2:50 p.m. The bus would eventually pull up to her normal stop at Cornwall Street and 3 Mile Drive. Naziah would exit the bus, but she wouldn't head home. Instead, something bad would happen to Naziah. Her Aunt Shannon noticed she didn't return from school. She didn't immediately report her missing though, because she frequently would come home late. But the following day, when Naziah still didn't return home, she grew even more concerned. Her Aunt Shannon, in a panic, would attempt to call Naziah multiple times on her cell phone.
So she waited a whole day to report her missing?
Yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
She sent text messages, and those went unanswered. She knew something was
Now I'm understanding more why he said in the beginning that the narrator said in the beginning where they in on family in on it.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
feel me?
wasn't
weird.
right, and she knew Naziah was gone. Shannon would contact Naziah's grandmother, Annette, to tell her what happened. Understanding the gravity of the situation, Annette would call the Detroit Public School Police and tell them that her granddaughter never came home from school and is missing. After her grandmother contacted the Detroit Public School Police, they didn't immediately spring into action. They waited a month before turning the case over to the Detroit PD.
What?
Detroit
What'd
police
they do
then
for a
contacted
month?
federal
Right.
law enforcement,
God,
including
bro.
the U.S. Marshals for assistance with the case. The different agencies worked together in an attempt to locate Naziah. The community also came together to spread awareness. They put up posters, shared social media posts. Everybody was truly wanting for Naziah to be brought home. Police would search ponds, abandoned buildings, and wooded areas in hopes to find some sort of clue about Naziah's whereabouts. However, their efforts would unfortunately lead to a dead end at that time. But Detroit police wouldn't give up. The department's major crimes division continued their search and would discover a piece of Naziah's clothing near the Rouge River around 7 Mile and Berg. The piece of clothing was damaged, indicating there may have been a struggle. Police would continue to urge the public to come forward with any clues that they may have. But Naziah's family already had a suspect in mind, someone they warned about for years, someone who just kept slipping through the cracks.
I
People
thought that
be
was bro in
ignoring
the ad.
People be ignoring them signs, bro, and look.
Yeah,
That's
facts.
crazy, man. You know he's like this. Like, why are you gonna have a kid around you and you know this man's history? Like, that's
You know it.
wild.
In March of 2024, Jarvis Butts, Aunt Shannon's boyfriend, was arrested by the Detroit police after a young girl came forward with accusations of an offense dating back to 2014. She would go on to accuse Jarvis of multiple accounts of assault over the course of an entire year. But she wasn't his only victim. You see, Jarvis had a history of dating lonely women with young daughters because that's what he really wanted. He didn't want the mother. He would just date them to get close to their daughters. Police would question Jarvis
type
extensively
of shit
about
is
his
that?
latest crime.
Yeah, that's crazy.
During
That's
their
crazy.
interrogations, they would discover that he was Naziah's aunt's boyfriend and that they stayed in the same home together. They immediately knew they found the missing piece to the Naziah case. Jarvis's rap sheet was well known among the community. He was known as the neighborhood predator. Naziah's family knew this and tried to warn Shannon on several occasions, but she just didn't want to hear it. Her and Jarvis had children together, and she just didn't believe it, or she just didn't want to believe that he would do anything to harm the
You
children in
need
her
to be
family.
locked up.
Matter of fact, Jarvis disclosed to Shannon that he did 10 years for assaulting a 13-year-old girl back in 2014 and is a registered sex offender. And he gave her the choice to either continue the relationship or not.
Wow.
And she chose him over the safety of the girls.
He
in their
told
family.
her
But
she
let's
didn't
talk about
believe
this
it.
aunt some more.
Oh man.
What type of person is she? I commend anyone who's willing to take in another child.
Like, how you hear the hard facts of that and decide that
Yeah,
this is gonna be your man.
Desperate.
the desperate. She can't find nobody, so she got to stick with
Anything she could keep, yeah, and she willing to risk whatever she got to risk so she can keep.
And that makes her even look. That makes her look even more low. Like, damn.
Yeah, it's
Hella
Damn.
desperate.
And provide for them. But I question your motives when you allow a known predator around your child and seemingly put yourself first. While researching this case, I stumbled upon a TikTok video of Naziah. In the background, just to the right of Naziah, you can see chains in the refrigerator. Not the white freezer on the left, but the black refrigerator just to the right of Naziah. At first, I was going to just let it go
I didn't
because
notice
it's hard to
that.
see, and I didn't want to make any
Yeah, that's crazy.
accusations. But I went to the aunt's Facebook page, and I had seen this post. Make any
First of all, why they
accusation,
keep
going to
showing
just let
this?
it go.
Like, get
Yeah,
the
pause,
girl-
yo.
Not the white freezer on the left, but
Oh.
the black refrigerator just to the right. See, and I didn't.
That's how I
see
didn't
this
notice the
post.
chain. I kept
As
looking for
long
the
as
white
children
thing. They
have
got
access
the
to
girl
metal
dancing all in your
refrigerators
face.
can have.
Yeah.
And I had seen this post.
Tripping.
In this post, she claims refrigerators can have chains in them legally, as long as children have access to them at all times. So I'm not sure how a child has access to the fridge at all times if there's a lock and chain on it. I guess all the kids would have to have keys at this point, and if that's the case, what's the point of the chains? I just thought that was some real strange behavior, but I'll leave it at that. Actually, I won't, because the more I dig, the more disgusted I become. Because not only did Shannon know what was going on in her home, her sister knew as well, and they would both seemingly laugh when people would tell her she was living with an
Say, they thought it was funny. Shake man, throw the whole family away. Those people are beyond evil and deserve to be in jail with him. I'm so sorry, Nazaya. May you rest in peace, baby.
offender and that her children were in
Bro.
danger. At this point, throw the whole damn family away. They're sick. Let me know what you guys think about that one in the comment section. Around this time, Nazaya's
I
family
agree.
members grew frustrated with police because they were pointing the finger at Jarvis from the start, but the police were slow to move their feet. They knew 13-year-old Nazaya at the time had been living with the neighborhood predator, and in the past they tried calling CPS and police on multiple occasions when they heard stories about his inappropriate behavior 2 years ago at a sleepover. The children that were assaulted were questioned for hours upon hours by the adults in the situation, until the children just finally got frustrated and decided to say that they made the whole thing up, even when they didn't.
We suspected him from the beginning, considering his background and things like that that we've heard about him.
Detroit podcaster Mark DeAndre.
Even in March, when I was doing the podcast, I felt like I had this thing pretty much solved as far as, what came out today. I said this months ago as far as what the end result was.
During the
Bro got
police's
some big eyes,
investigation,
bro.
they
Yeah,
discovered
he like a
that
beetle.
Zaya and Jarvis were texting throughout the day while she was at school. They decided to meet up after school that day. Using GPS at school, that Nazaya and Jarvis were during the police's investigation, they discovered that Nazaya and Jarvis were texting throughout the day while she was at school. They decided to meet up after school that day. Using GPS data and witness statements and surveillance footage, this is what police believe happened that day. Nazaya got up for the morning, she got dressed, she got ready for school, and then she walked to the bus stop and took the bus to school. She had on clear framed glasses, a white sweater, and a black jacket over it, a colorful Rugrats puffy jacket with a fur-lined hood, with light blue jeans and Nike shoes. There's video of Nazaya getting on the school bus to confirm this. Nazaya used a DPS-issued tablet that she used to communicate and communicated with an app. She then took one last picture of herself on that tablet. Using that same tablet, she sent a message to a mobile device associated with Jarvis Butts, indicating that they would be meeting up after she got out of school that day. There's also video of her getting out of school at the end of the day in the same clothes. She meets up with Jarvis and a co-worker and goes back to their auto repair shop in Detroit. Nazaya is seen by Jarvis's sister at the shop. Jarvis, the co-worker, and Nazaya were together in the co-worker's car when they went to Ypsilanti and then returned to the shop on Connor. But what happened when Jarvis and the co-worker and Nazaya went to Ypsilanti? Is the co-worker also assaulting Nazaya? Jarvis's phone places him at all of these locations. At 9:30 p.m. to 12:20 p.m., Jarvis Butts checked into a motel. There's a receipt confirming this as well as his phone placing him at that location.
That's crazy.
Nazaya is never seen again after January 9th, 2024.
Do not pay your next car insurance bill until you see this. You should use trusted and
Now, thanks to a tip, police would find articles of Zanaya's clothing near the Rouge River around 7 Mile and Berg. GPS data showed that Jarvis visited that same area on January 10th, the day after Nazaya went missing. Jarvis started sending Naziah sexually explicit texts in September of 2022. In September of 2023, she sent Jarvis a text saying she had not had her period. And by November of 2023, Jarvis was aware that Naziah was pregnant.
Wow.
Phone records also show that Jarvis had
Bro,
How old was she again?
13? She was 13?
Damn, that's crazy. That's
How
crazy.
old was she?
Ooh.
How old was
Go
she?
hit the info, bro, on the story. Hit more.
Mm-mm.
They had said it in the beginning how old she was.
How do you say it? Naziah? How do you spell that shit? My bad. Naziah, N-A. Typing is horrible. 13, bro. 13.
had been searching for abortion and abortion pills and drinking show that Jarvis was aware that Naziah was pregnant. Phone records also show that Jarvis had been searching for abortion and abortion pills and drinking red antifreeze online before Naziah's death. It's believed that Jarvis killed Naziah because she was pregnant and wasn't able to get an abortion. But what do you all think? Do you think that Naziah met her fate in that motel room? I think Jarvis killed Naziah in that motel room, and then the next day he disposed of her body at that river. On Thursday, September 26th, 2024, almost 9 months later, Jarvis Butts was arrested in connection with the death and disappearance of Naziah Harris. He was charged with first-degree premeditated murder, 1 count of criminal sexual conduct in the second degree, and 1 count of CP material. He is also being charged for 2 separate cases of SA of 2 more young girls. Given all this evidence,
This dude's sick.
Jarvis still hasn't
super
confessed
sick.
to the crime. The evidence shows that Naziah is in fact deceased, but her body is still missing because Jarvis refuses to disclose what he did with Naziah's body. But he is going to prison, and inmates hate child predators. Maybe he can sit on Big Bubba's lap and they can talk about the first.
Big Bubba's lap.
Big Bubba should make them too.
Bro, that shit is people in this world, bro.
Yeah, man.
And it's
that's
touchy for me
disgusting.
because I got 3 girls, bro. You know, and my
Oh,
oldest
God,
is at
dude.
that age where like, and the kids don't really understand what type of situation to be in, but it's like, I don't let my kids go to spend the night at nobody's house. I don't let them go to nobody's house. I don't let them go in a car, nobody, because you just never know, bro. You just never know, man.
I try not to be too,
Hell
'cause
no. Hell
I
no.
got-
It ain't even no room to try not to
16-year-old
be
too.
too, yo, because you just never fucking know.
yeah, it's crazy.
And it's
You hear stuff like
and it's
this,
like-
like, poor girl, man.
it's a lot of them out there. A lot of them undiscovered. Like,
Yeah.
ain't
Yeah.
get caught yet or ain't come out yet type shit.
Yeah, or people protecting them. They know what they did, but they just know that's how they are, and they just keeping it. Like, come on, bro. He was the known neighborhood predator. How did this happen?
How?
Tripping, bro. I'm put a lesson on this one. We're gonna drop to this one. My lesson is, listen, because this is not the first time I've heard it. You know, in communities where y'all know that y'all got people that is abusing kids and doing stuff like that, dating underage girls.
Yeah.
You don't keep that secret, bro. You're not looking out for nobody by keeping that secret, because them people just go on to hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
Don't keep that around you. Don't associate with that, and definitely don't enable that. Like, look what happened to this little girl, man. Like, her innocence was taken, her life was taken, and she was put in position where she could have had a kid, bro. At 13. Like, what kind of
13,
stuff
bro.
is this, man?
13,
Yo,
bro.
big lesson. Don't be weird, bro. Don't be weird. That right there all caps, weird, bro. Go get you a woman your age, man. Do what you're supposed to do when you able to do it. Don't be forcing nobody, and definitely don't be putting yourself up on no kid.
That's crazy
Like
work.
What are you
you
doing?
so sick. You sick enough to do that to the little to mess with the little girl, and then you sick enough to kill the little girl.
On
Yeah.
top of
Pregnant.
it, it's wild. He really deserved to be on death penalty. The only reason I'm not going crazy about the death penalty, because if they put him on death penalty, he's gonna be in protective custody, kind of, where they can't really get
Mm,
to him. He's gonna be locked down
yeah.
most of the time. So I actually would rather homeboy be in Gen Pop, where he could be around everybody, because I think his karma gonna come just being around. You know what I'm saying? So I'm okay with him not being on death row, but he should have got given the death penalty, because that's sick, bro. You insulted her, you impregnated her, and killed her.
Crazy, bro. Crazy, bro. People sick, bro, in
Like,
this world, man. 13
and
years old.
she's just the worst, I guess, example of your mistakes. But you had a pattern of doing this. You got a history of doing this,
Mm-hmm.
so you wasn't gonna stop.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's crazy, man.
Crazy, man. Crazy,
R.
crazy, crazy.
R.P. to that girl, man.
Yeah, word.
Young girl, she had a lot of life ahead of her. You know what I'm saying? It's R.P. to Naziah Harris, man.
Yeah.
My mother made me watch this shit, bro.
I mean, this was a good thing to watch and react
I
to.
don't like watching shit like that with girls, cause little girls, cause that shit, man.
Man. But people gotta know though. People gotta know that this is going on, and people gotta know, you know,
Yeah,
how people is acting in these situations, to know that it's not okay to act like this. Like,
Facts.
because
Facts.
people do this a lot. Like, they know people that they look out for, that they know like to touch kids or deal with kids, and got issues like that. You don't protect that, man.
yeah.
You don't protect that. Like, yo, you gotta go get some help. Go therapy, go to treatment, whatever you gotta do. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't know what's going on, and definitely not encourage nobody to be with you.
Yep.
The
Mhm.
whole neighborhood, no, the whole neighborhood should have been at her door, like, yo, you know what bro on, right?
Word.
Got that man in your house, right? See his MO, right?
And then who's that? The auntie, right? Auntie just
Yeah, like
naive, and just head
auntie,
over
auntie,
heels over
auntie
sick
just,
person.
auntie just, auntie just. I'm sorry, and y'all could be in y'all feelings if y'all want when y'all see this. Auntie's a poop putt, man. That's just some poop putt shit. Like, she ain't got, she ain't worth the skin she was put in, bro. Like, throw the whole, like they said, throw the whole family away. Throw her away. She's trash. You
Hmm.
over there risking it all for some meat, bro.
Word. Wait, what's this that popped up?
Family,
Look
what
at
it
this
do?
shit. Nah, it was
It's your
good.
girl Toot, and I am back with another video.
Pregnant.
Looking at her right here in this picture. It could tell. Bro, are you serious right now? Bro, this is crazy. This shit made me want to break.
We
Say
gotta
that
look up. We
again.
gotta look up more.
That's
We gotta look up.
that's
So,
horrible gambling. You
Hey,
went
yo.
all in on some meat and
bro,
lost.
hey, write this
Horrible
down. Make
gambling.
sure y'all remember this, because D, when we get on the stream later, I wanna look up videos more on that story.
Yeah.
Because according to her, she's saying that she was pregnant in this video. So there's more video. I know there's hella court videos out about it, about him in court and shit.
Yeah.
And I also wanna look up more videos on like the Chris Sales and clearance shit, because it's a lot more shit. But I want to do that on stream. I don't want to make reacts to it. If I do want to, if it's dope, I'll clip it from Twitch and then put it as a reaction like that. But it's a
Yeah.
lot more to uncover on both those topics.
All right. That's cool.